Hi everyone. Hope we are here for grade 5 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You log in there using your email address and password by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to the math, and then click on view all lessons. A list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter multiplication. The lessons we're going to cover today are choose numbers with a particular product, estimate product, estimate products word problems, multiply two-digit numbers word problems. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Math, the chapter we're on right now is multiplication. Let's just start with the lesson that is choose numbers with a particular product. Which two numbers have a product of 30? You need to find two numbers that have the product 30. So you can make the factors of 30, right? Which numbers when multiplied by makes 30. So you are given 2, 3, 8, and 10. So 2 times, if you look at the number 2, 2 times 15 makes 30. But you are not given 15 over here, right? Then you look at 3. 3 times 10 is 30. We have 10 here. So that means the correct option is 3 and 10. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the sentence. Which two numbers have the product 63? So, which is the correct option? Product 63. You are given two options 7 and 9, 4 and 5. You can multiply and see which pair of numbers victory, right? The first one is 9 and 7. So, 7 times 9 makes 63. Yes, correct option. Can you guys please stop chatting? If you are cousins, you can talk on your phone. You are here to learn. So stop creating mess over here. Option number one is the correct option, that is 7 times 9 is 63. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the multiplication sentence. Which two number have the product 56? So just look at the options given. The options you are given here is 7 and 8, 2 and 5. So just multiply and see which pair of numbers make 56. 7 times 8. 7 times 8 equals 56. So option number 1 is the correct option. Two numbers that their product make 56 is 7 and 8. Choose two numbers. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the sentence. Which two numbers have a product of 40, which is the correct option? Four times 10 is 40. Option number one is the correct option. That is 4 and 10. Very good. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the multiplication sentence. So which two numbers have the product 15, which is the correct option? Option number two is the correct option. 3 times 5 makes 15. Very good. That's option number two. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the sentence. Which two numbers have a product of 54? You are given two options, 63, 69, which is the correct option. That is option number two. Very good. 6 times 9 makes 54. Option number two is the correct option. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the sentence. Which two numbers have a product of 90? Which is the correct option? Which two numbers have a product of 90? Very good. Option number one is the correct option. 10 times 9 makes 90. Choose two numbers from the box to complete the multiplication sentence. Which two numbers have a product 40, which is the correct option? That is 8 times 5 makes 40. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. If you have any question with the lesson we just did, you can write it down in the chat box. I don't know why the page takes so long while loading. Okay, the next lesson is estimate products. Let's just start with the lesson. Estimate the product 74 times 72. So you need to round these numbers to the nearest 10. We already know the rounding, how to round off the numbers, but I will explain a little bit again. 74. 74 is between two tens, right? 70 and 80, right? Here it is 71, 2, 3, and 4. 74 is here. 74 is just 4 points away from 70. So it would be that is near, you can say it is near to 70. So it would be rounded to 70, right? So 74 is rounded to 70. Same way, 72, 72 is more closer to 70. So it would be rounded to 70. So you have to do 70 times 70. You can multiply the non-zero values only 7 times 7. That is 49. We have 10 and 10, two zeros. So just put two zeros. So that is 4900. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. Estimate the product, round each factor to the nearest 10, then multiply 29 times 33. So 29 times 33. Now look at the number 29. That is closer to 30. So it would be rounded to 30. Also 33. 33 is also close to 30. So it would be rounded off to both the numbers would be rounded off to 30. So how do you multiply them? Just multiply the non-zero values 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So that is 90. The correct option is 3 times 3 is 9. Both the numbers have zeros, 1 and 2 zeros. So just add the zeros. So that makes 900. The correct option is 900. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 900. Very good. Okay, the next one is 26 times 48. So which is the correct option? 26 is rounded to 30 because that is just 4 points away from 30, and 48 is rounded off to 48 is rounded to 50. So the answer is very good. That is option number 2. 5 times 3 is 15. You need to add this 1500. Option number 2 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. 1500 it is. Estimate the product round each factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. So which is the correct option? Thirty-three is rounded to 30 and 74 is rounded to 70. So which is the correct option? Seven times three is 21. So that is 2100. Option number two is the correct option. 1400. How 1400? That is 33 is rounded to 30 and 74 is rounded to 70. 7 times 3 is 21. That is 2100. Option number two is the correct option. Estimate the product, round each factor to the nearest 10 and then multiply. 31 times 37. So 31 is rounded to 30 and 37 is rounded to 40. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number two, that is 1200. Option number two is the correct option. 1200 it is. Estimate the product 85 times 26. So 85 is rounded to 90 and 26 is rounded to 30. So which is the correct option? That is 2700. Option number two is the correct one. That is 2700. Estimate the product 88 times 51. So 88 is rounded to 90 and 51 is rounded to 50. So which is the correct option? That is option number one, 4500 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is estimate products, word problems. Let's just start with the lesson. There are there are 50 bags filled with coins. There are 54 coins in each bag. About how many coins are there in all? Choose the better estimate. So you have to round these factors and then you have to find the product. 50 times 54 because 50 bags and in each bag you have 54 coins. So 50 is already at the 10. Now you need to round up 54. So 54 is rounded to 50. So you just have to multiply the non-zero values. 5 times 5 is 25. So just add the zeros, that is 2500. Let's just start with the test question. A school bus weighs 7,287 pounds. If you weighted 27 school buses together, how many pounds would they weigh? Choose the better estimate. Okay, 7,287 and then 27. So you need to round to the nearest. So 72 is rounded to 7,287. So it would be rounded to 7,000. And then we have 27. 27 is rounded to 30. Very good. That is 7 times 3 is 21. Then you need to add the 4 zeros. So option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 210,000. Option number 1 is the correct option. There are 77 dots on each ceiling tile. About how many dots are there on 8,278 ceiling tiles? Choose the better estimate. So we have 77 dots on each tile. The total tiles are 8,278. So 77 is rounded to 80 and 8,200, that is 82. So 82 is also rounded to 8,000. So which is the correct option? That is 640,000. Option number 1 is the correct option. A school owns 31 buses. There are 43 seats on each bus. How many seats in the total are there on the bus? Choose the better estimate. 31 buses and 43 seats, so which is the correct option? 31 is rounded to 30 and 43 is rounded to 40. So 4 times 3 is 12, that is 1200. Option number 2 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option, that is 1200. There are 60 boxes of razors in the supply closet. Each box contains 44 razors. About how many razors are there in all? Choose the better estimate. That is 60 times 44. So, which is the correct option? That is 60 times 40. That is 2400. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 2400. Option 2 is the correct option. There are 69 polka dots on each dress. About how many polka dots are there on 21 dresses? Choose the better estimate. So 69 times 21. 69 is rounded to 70 and 21 is rounded to 20. So which is the correct option? 7 times 2 is 14. That is 1400. Option number 2 is the correct option. There are 64 apartments in an apartment building. The rent of each apartment is 686 per month, dollars per month. About how much rent does the owner of the building receive each month? 64 times 686. 64 is rounded to 60 and 686 is rounded to 700. So which is the correct option? That is 7 times 6 is 42. So 42,000 it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me just move on to next. The next lesson is multiply by two-digit numbers, word problems. Let's just start with the lesson. Each correct answer on a game show is worth 56 points. Last night, a contestant answered 37 questions correctly. How many points did the contestant earn? So that is a long division method, right? Sorry, long multiplication, not division. So you have to multiply them. Let's just do the test questions, right? That is already solved. You can do the practice questions on your own. Sporting goods factory. A sporting goods factory puts 85 playground balls in each shipment. How many playground ball will be there in 67 shipments? So 65 playgrounds and the total shipments are 67. You need to multiply them. 65 times 67. 7 times 5 is 35, right? 5 and carry 3. 7 times 6 is 42 and 3, 45. Now I'm going to multiply the 10. 6 times 5 is 30, 0, 3 carry. 6 times 6 is 36, 37, 38, 39. So just add 6, 5, 9, and 4, 13, and 4. That is 4,300 and sorry, 5. This is not 6, this is 5. 7 times 5 is 31. So that is 4,355. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 4,355. Very good. Our school owns 14 buses. There are 57 seats on each bus. How many seats are total are there on the buses? 14 times 57. 57 times 14. 4 times 7 is 28. 8 2 carry. 4 times 5 is 20 and 2 22. Now I'm going to multiply the tens digit. So you need to put 0 on will be ones. 1 times 7 is 7 and 1 times 5 is 5. 8, 7 into 9, 5 into 7. That is 798. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Craig organized a walk for charity. That's why 55 miles long. Of those who started, 90 people completed the walk. How many miles were walked in all by those who completed the walk? That is 90 times 55. 55 times 90. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 9 times 5 is 45. 4 carry 9 times 5 is 45 and 4 is 49. So that is 4,950. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number one is the correct option. Hospital ordered 74 boxes of cotton swabs. There were 21 cotton swabs in each box. How many cotton swabs did the hospital order in all? 74 times 21. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 7 is 14. That is 4. 7 and 8, 15. 4 and 1, 5. That is 1554. That is 1554. Option number 2 is the correct option. A construction company purchased 90 tons of cement. The price was $78 per ton. What was the total price of the cement? So just multiply that. 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 7 is 63 and 2 60. 9 times 8 is 70. 9 times 7 is 63 and 70. That is 7,020. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. So we were working on grade 5 math. The chapter we were working on is multiplication. The lessons we have covered today are choose numbers with a particular product, estimate product, estimate product word problems, and multiply by two-digit number word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons. That is your homework until next session. Any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? No questions?